clinic. There was actually 2 clinics there.
Okay.
One of them that I really wanted to. Are we good to go?
1 second. Let's
All right.
I forgot to hit the record button. All right, but we're pretty much at the beginning. But this is Dr. Daniel Pozarnsky with Balance Chiropractic coming to you from, Dr. Daniel Pozarnsky with Balance Chiropractic coming to you from the living room of our clinic. And I'm with Dr. Jeff Urmacher. And we're here to talk about health, chiropractic, and marketing today. We were just talking about when his experience first coming out of chiropractic school and trying to start his own business. And he was just leading into that. Could you go back to that one again?
Yeah. So again, mine was not a typical right out of school type of deal. And again, I didn't know anything on the business side either. So I did my internship in Lincoln, ended up meeting my wife now in a small town in Nebraska. And there was 2 clinics there, wanted one of them. Actually, the doc was in a little bit of Medicaid fraud trouble. So it was, timing was well for both of us, but I took it over. It was very successful practice. Big building, you know, I think it was 2,600 square feet, had a fitness center in it, had all the things that were just great. But then I went in there and all the patients, they stayed. I mean, again, small town, and he kind of transitioned me over. But like any patient, if you don't keep communicating with them, if you don't keep nurturing that relationship, they start to go away. So now I'm like, well, wait a minute. Day one, I was making good money. And now I'm starting to not make good money, and pretty soon it's going to be losing money. So it just went downhill really quick, not because of me. I mean, patients said they liked the way I adjusted and everything else. It was, I didn't know that I needed to go out and get new people in, and I needed to do something about retention to keep the patients that I had, which is the same for every business.
Yeah, retention is huge. Like a stepping stone in the chiropractic business, because like generally we might get a little taste of going out and doing screens and stuff when we're first in school, and we can get, you know, those first few people in, but like it's keeping them wanting to come back. So like when you teach marketing and philosophy, like what's your philosophy on that? Because a lot of people come in for pain, but they don't get the wellness part.
Yeah.
It's almost like only seeing is believing. So like some of the new digital stuff works really good. But I suppose they had x-rays. You use x-rays.
Yeah, that's across the board when it comes to chiropractic. But I'm going to tell you, I think it's the same across every business. I treat them all the same. It doesn't matter. You got to create value, and you got to create relationships with the people. So when it comes to retention, especially, I talk about dating your spouse. If you remember how much effort you put into courting your spouse and dating them and getting them to like you and doing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden you get married, and a lot of people stop the dating and stop the courting. It's like, we're here, we've arrived, I can let myself go. You know, all those things happen, and the relationship starts to go down. You don't notice it as much until like after the fact. But if you were, again, let's use chiropractic, for example, you get this new patient in the door, you've done all this whining and dining, you showed them all this marketing stuff, and then you don't really keep communicating past the first few visits. And what happens to that relationship? It goes downhill, and it goes downhill a lot further because you didn't have the whole dating thing like your spouse. So you have to continue that value and relationship with them. And again, I'm a chiropractor. I help a lot of chiropractors, but again, there's so many of them that just are big pussies when it comes to marketing. And I don't even mean doing a Facebook ad or a Google ad or anything else. They're so afraid to pick up the phone and talk to someone. Hey, Mary, just called to see how you were doing. Not even ask them to come in, you know, anything like that. Send them a card. Send them an email that's just personal to them. Hey, Mary, I remember talking about Jimmy's soccer game. How did it go? You know, they're so afraid of those touches and relationship. They want to be able to send a mass email they want it to be free, and they want it to get them 50 new patients. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
just not reality. So if they would just really focus on not new patients and not new on retention and focus on value and relationships, really new patients and
Authenticity also.
retention, you don't even have to worry about it. It goes through the door. That's all you're doing is you're just creating that with them. And that, I mean, there's a lot of things in it. You want to do it for the right reasons, but there's the reciprocity. When you reach out to someone that wasn't expecting it, it's like giving them a gift. They feel like they have to give back.
Yep.
You know, so there's a lot of psychology behind it, but just do it because you want to have relationships with those people. And like I said, the referrals will come from it, the retention, it's all going to be there. And they just, like I said, they just want to be able to click an email and send it out to everyone. They do it for reviews, which again, it's okay, but man, you got someone in the office with you. I did a video on this with Dr. Zamikoff. He grabs their phone, he brings up their app, and he says, hey, what you just said, put it in right now. And he doesn't let them leave. Of course, he's not holding them hostage, but he has a good relationship with his patients. And they're like, oh yeah, they'll do it. But instead, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, I should, I'll send you an email later and you can do it. No, life gets in the way. Do it right then. It takes you 60 seconds and it's so valuable. Just, you know.
That's how I got most of my Google reviews until like, I don't think you can leave a Google review right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have been just, they're kind of suspended for whatever reason.
Yeah, like the best way is like we have the roller bed or the traction table, like if they're laying on that, they're always on their phone. It's like, why don't you just leave us a review for, you know, what those words you just told us over here. And we do testimonials in the office and like, they'll tell it to you right away. And then they'll be all of a sudden like, oh, I don't want to be on TV or like, you know, I don't want to be video, but a lot of people actually don't mind. But that's the truth. It's like that timing is so key in chiropractic as far as the flow of the office and patients in and out and just making sure everything is to the T, which is not easy. And in school, they make it seem like you're just going to walk out the door and become, you know, $100,000 your first year or something like that. And it's just not the truth.
I think about that when we're talking about affiliate marketing too. That's with anything online marketing, any network marketing, MLM. Everyone talks about how much money you can make, how fast you can make it. And it's true. I mean, I have a very good following now, so I can click some emails and communicate with people and make a fair amount of money. But until you generate that list, you generate that following, you do those things, it takes the time. I mean, everything either takes time, money, or both. And people just, they want to get into affiliate marketing and they want to be able to, again, share it on social media and do it for free and make a bunch of money. And it's, again, it's just, I just want people to know the reality is it's rare. You might get those first couple of people, but you keep posting about the same affiliate thing. And people are like, all right, Jeff, enough. We know you've got this great thing. It's awesome. We need to buy it. But
that's the time
they check out, you know? So,
So are you mainly doing like affiliate marketing now, or what's your specialty?
Like, it is actually.
What's your company?
I guess it's just me. I've got a couple. I mean, I do media buying for chiropractors. All of my clients went away when people were starting to have to shut down offices. It's really hard to, you know, when the new patients are afraid to come in and everything else. So my clients, when it came to media buying, went away in the last.
What do you mean by media buying? Like Facebook ads or Google ads?
Facebook ads, Google ads. Yep. I set up, you know, squeeze pages and their marketing funnels and stuff like that too.
Okay. So funnels. Okay. Yeah. That's one thing that we're working on.
Yeah, I'm not much of an a la carte type of person. Pretty much when someone does it, it's like, all right, it's kind of all or none because there's too many components. It's hard to just run Facebook ads because then it's like, well, you need to get your testimonial videos and I need those because I need to retarget with those. And I need, you know, there's all these things that go into actually getting a new patient. So I just won't be someone's Facebook ads guy. It's kind of an all-inclusive, like whatever works now, because what if Facebook changes policies And then one, their marketing stops. Two, I'm out of a job.
Yep.
So, you know, and I love YouTube ads right now. So it's like, I want to be able to roll and change.
Do you do a lot of YouTube ads for chiropractors?
Yeah, I do. And they're great.
Oh, that's one thing I haven't tried out yet, but that makes sense. I did try it, but I tried it. It was a while back, and you got to know exactly how to do it, or else it can be really expensive.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll tell you too. Again, from what I found and from other people I talked to, YouTube ads themselves are cheaper. Getting a patient from YouTube is a little bit more expensive, but they tend to be better and worth a lot more.
Really?
Yeah. So again, I mean, all these things, when you're afraid to spend money to find some of these things out, I mean, I've spent thousands of my own dollars figuring things out, but it's like, okay, if I never would have known that, I would have given up after, let's say 50, 75, $100. But instead you keep pushing on because you're like, well, I need to know. And again, I need to create this relationship. You can get people to watch a lot of YouTube video as an ad too. Just that first bumper, you can have an hour-long video. And if people get to watching that, they'll never click skip, and they'll watch the same you know, video for a long time. So
the bumper is the kind of the key to catch them.
Yeah, I mean, the first 5 seconds, you got to get their attention, but you can make that video really long.
So you kind of set that up the same as a Google AdWords campaign, don't you?
Yeah, it is. It's in the same interface.
And then I'm guessing that you probably like retarget similar to like the Facebook. I think you can do that with Google.
Yeah, now in health, Google does not retarget the health. So what I'll do is any of my Google ads or YouTube ads, I retarget them on Facebook.
Okay.
They don't like you to create custom audiences on a healthcare site.
Yeah, I heard Google, since they acquired the pharmaceutical companies, they're a lot harder on that. Was it like that before?
I'm trying to think. It's been like that for a couple of years anyway.
Has it?
Yeah. Just as far as not being able to create that custom audience of, you know, of visitors to your website.
Okay. So, what's your, like, so do you do custom funnels, or do you use like Kartra or ClickFunnels, or?
I just have it all built on WordPress.
Oh, you?
Again, I don't do it personally, but it's the same thing. It's just all a page or a post. ClickFunnels and those, they've just made it simple because you can drag and drop. But I use Thrive themes. And again, I don't build any of it. I put the words out and my guy does it. And honestly, it'd probably only take like, you know, 20 minutes anyway. I just hardly touch the stuff anymore.
That makes sense. So I was curious, like going back again, like you came out, you had 3 7-figure clinics at one point.
It did. I actually started doing a lot of decompression. I've been in 2005. That came on the scene really strong. And I ended up doing a lot of decompression, and I got really good at it. Really good at the marketing for it as well. And they were all killing it. But like I said, I think I even put in there, I was really piss poor at money management and hired.
That's what I have here next.
That was during the same time that I was going through with all of my virtual assistants. It was the same thing with my associates. I expected them to just do what I do. And they didn't. They were there to show up and collect a paycheck. You know, again, if they weren't, they would have been the entrepreneur type to, you know, jump out and take their own chances and their own risk. And it was weirdest thing. It was, and I just didn't know then. My first business was 2003, you know, when I bought a $500,000 clinic. So it was, I just didn't know. There were so many things I didn't know. I got good at treating patients and good at marketing, but all the other stuff, it was just like, you know, dumpster fires everywhere. And so it just came to a head there that I had no associates then, and still had all the overhead of 3 practices and just couldn't run them all, you know. So
you'd run 3 yourself, or like you had associate doctors at other practices?
I had associates in them. Yep.
Okay. And then so what was the hard part? Like that's the one thing I'm coming up to now is hiring an associate. Like it's because I'm pretty much full the way that I do things. I can make it a little bit different. So some people do the rehab and things like that, but it's getting around that point. And like, that's the big thing I've noticed in chiropractic is a lot of clinics can't keep associates, or basically just can't keep them because they can't afford them, is the big thing, I think. And they can't reproduce their processes, I don't believe, either.
Right.
Because you can't create that same relationship.
It is. I even recorded myself in consultations and everything else. This sounds bad, but it's really not. Lower your standards. Again, you have to have someone come in, not because you don't want the best for your patient or anything. They're just not you.
Yep.
And I won't be you. I could come in there and you might hate me, you know, in your clinic. So you just have to lower that and say, can I just get you to like do the stuff to start with? And if I can if here's my expectation and I can get you to do 70% of that, I have to be happy there.
John C. Maxwell, I think, says that when I
Does
read
he?
that one a long time ago. Yeah,
it's
70%.
like you just have to be happy at a certain level. Then if they jump to like 72 and then 70, you know, or maybe they never do, but you just have to know they're not you, and they're never going to be you, and they're not going to do it like you. Even if they learn from you and all those things, they're going to massage it their own way. They're going to go out and they're, you know, so just as bad as that sounds, lower your expectations.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I've thought that one a lot of times, like in my head when I get frustrated. 70%.
Yeah.
So do you do like mainly like affiliate stuff then now?
I do, yeah. And I'd been doing that along with because I mean, even though I'm a media buyer for people, I still have my own business. I love doing the media buying. I don't know why. I just like doing it. I like when someone comes in and says, hey, I'm having troubles with this. And it's like, just to be able to go through it and tweak little things, change little things and be like, oh, I know what you're doing wrong there. And being able to, I think it's the competitive side of me that likes to be able to go in and do it. But yeah, I do all affiliate marketing now. And lots of different things because I'm in the online marketing world and the health world. I've got oodles of products and people and everything else that I can share with the people that I influence, you know, people that are on my email list, people that are on social media with me, that there's a lot of things I could sell, but I only do things that I believe in or I use myself. But there's a ton of things out there.
To be able to sell, you have to do that.
Yeah. Well, again, when you get in the affiliate world and then people are like, hey, check this out. And I look at it, I'm like, I don't know how you could ever even get behind that thing. You know, maybe you made a few sales, but that person would never trust me again, you know? Yeah, so that's the thing I think in the online marketer world is, and maybe that's why so many people are afraid of it because they've been burned by so many people. They're like, you know, listen to someone, they really hyped them up. They got excited about it. They bought it. And then they started going through and they're confused or it didn't work the way the person told them. That's honestly why I, over the years, have been so transparent and just even recording my screen and showing people what I'm doing. Because that attracts people to me that I don't have to try and sell it. I can say, hey, here's all the stuff and go do it. You're as smart as I am. Or if you want someone to help you do it, then buy this product or hire me or hire this person and I can affiliate that way. But it's just taken all like the selling out of it for me to be able to just share it. And I know there's people that still go out and do it without spending any other money. And that's what I want. Because like I said, I learned it from someone else somewhere along the way. And I just want people to have every advantage that they can so that they can go out and do it.
If you believe in something and then you master what it is, it doesn't become selling anymore. It does become just like you're sharing knowledge.
Yeah,
I have
you're right.
noticed that in the chiropractic field as I've gotten older, that like when I first come out of school, you don't know if they're going to come back one or two times. And now it's like, nah, this is going to take, 12, this might take 3 months and you got to do this or else you're not going to get better.
Right.
And I just say it straight out and they're like, okay. And it's the truth. Like, it's not a sell at all. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And, you know, and some don't do it, some don't care, but a lot do. And I'm really, I also am very transparent with people, like almost too transparent. I've been told because I don't like the selling part or like the pressure of playing a doctor, you know, when I can figure it out without wearing a, you know, a white coat or whatever.
Right.
And I think people appreciate being comfortable around me. And I always say that um, it's good that I dress comfortably because you wouldn't want me to adjust your neck if I was kind of stressed out, would you?
That's right.
So that's always my thing. But like, yeah, I like it comfortable, and that really helps as far as sales go. So do you use any like platforms like ClickBank or things like that, or do you just find specific people that you affiliate off of?
Yeah, I use a couple of things off ClickBank, Share a Sale, Max Bounty on occasion. So there's different ones, but usually if I'm looking for something particular,
Uh-huh.
otherwise I'll see stuff and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go check theirs out, you know, and see if they have an affiliate program because I like it or I'm using it or a friend's using it. But I don't go out so much and like really look for something. It's usually something that comes across my feed or a friend's, you know, like I said, using it, and I start checking it out that way.
Okay. So you don't have like, you just have specific products that you find that are affiliated. Then you have a list that kind of likes those specific
Yeah,
ones that you've built over the years.
and again, they might come in for a certain thing onto my list, but people are people. So I try and communicate with them about those things. So if they come in for health, I communicate with them about health at the beginning. But I know there are people who doesn't want to make a little more money, whether it's online marketing or want to get a few more customers or a few more patients. So I talk about that, you know, as the goes on. Well, who doesn't want to feel a little bit better, you know? So I talk about health. That's who I am. I really tell people it's like, it's monetizing my life. This is what I do. I just want to tell you about it, you know? So again, it's not I do marketing, I do health, you know, and we lived on a yacht for 9 months. So we talked about that, you know, we're just, like I said, I just monetize my life. Yeah, we did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we bought a 53-foot blue water yacht. We actually just moved into this house. Is it 3 months ago? Something like that, beginning of March.
Was St. Petersburg, you said you're at?
Yeah, we were in the St. Petersburg Municipal Marina for 9 months.
Oh, nice.
So
then you came on shore.
Yeah, we had planned on cruising more, getting down to the Keys, getting to over to the Bahamas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it never, one thing after another, you know, whether it was kids' schedules or kids not wanting to do this. And it was just like, all right, it was when it becomes pulling teeth, then we changed our mind. So.
Okay. Huh. Do a lot of people do that then down there in St. Petersburg?
I mean, yeah, there's, you know, people definitely that have liveaboards. There's people that'll anchor out, you know, on their sailboats and live full time. And we were surprised how many there really were that were full time, you know, liveaboards.
Huh.
So it was pretty cool.
Very
It was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, we're up here in Fargo, North Dakota, so the ocean's not close. We're as far away as you can get in either direction, I think.
Yeah, no
Florida
doubt.
probably is the closest, or maybe the East Coast. So for like new people out there trying to get into like affiliate marketing, what would you recommend?
Keep it simple. There's so many shiny objects. Again, someone might say, oh, get ClickFunnels. And that's fine. But just having ClickFunnels, because I've seen this in lots of forums, oh, I got ClickFunnels. Well, it's the words on the page or the video on the page that's doing the stuff. Just having ClickFunnels, again, that's just a page. That's just another page. That's just a button. Those don't do anything. So keep it very simple and really, really understand. And I ask you this at the beginning, understand who your market is. You have to start out, like I said, mine turns into me, but not at the beginning. You have to understand who you're talking to
Yeah.
and what they want, and then just provide it for them. You know, so keep it simple as far as an ad, a simple value page with an opt-in,
Mhm.
and then communicate with them till they buy or die. That's another big
Buy
thing
or
where
die.
people fail is they'll want to send them. They'll have, oh, I got 3 emails set up in my autoresponder, and then they never email them again. And it's like you
Yeah.
spend a lot of energy and money generating that lead. Now, again, build that list, build that relationship. They don't know you, so it's hard to trust you. Maybe if you got a $7 product, but if you want to make money with them, you really need to communicate with them.
So if I'm not a chiropractor and I'm just like a regular guy or regular entrepreneur, like coming to you, how do I start a list even just off my friends and family or like?
I love cold traffic. I love ads
Yeah. Oh yeah, makes
because
sense.
it's
That's why I
really
said it.
hard to scale anything outside of your, you know, if you're on Facebook, you only get 5,000 people. How many are actually going to see your stuff too? So I can
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
5,000 people see mine in a day, easy with an ad, you know, a
Yeah, with a paid
Google
ad.
display, yeah, with a paid ad.
Even if you have 5,000 followers on Facebook, they won't show it to all of them anyways.
Now, especially if you post a link,
Yeah.
Facebook wants you to pay to play, you know,
Yeah.
so you might, yeah, you might get a couple hundred that see it, and you might get a dozen that click on it.
Yeah.
Well, don't expect much out of a dozen people.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
We need like a couple thousand. And
yeah,
then you funnel then you take them through into a funnel, which brings them to whatever product you're um, trying to
yeah,
educate them about.
yeah. So even as far as that content goes, okay, so let's go to ad. And like I said, I love to give people value even before the squeeze page, because some people, and it's okay, people have different preferences. Some people like to go ad and directly to a squeeze page where you don't get anything until you give me your email. And
Yep.
that's okay. And I've done that. I still do on occasion, but I love to give away some sort of valuable content
Like an
without
ebook.
asking for anything.
Yeah.
So they might get a video that's on the page, and then towards the end of the video, I'm saying, hey, if you want, I just talked about X, Y, and Z. If you want more of X, Y, and Z, because you just like that, drop your email in and I'll give you 22 more of those.
Okay, and that's where you go into
Now,
your autoresponder.
I already gave something before I asked for something. Now they're like, I did like that. So yeah, I'd love to see some more of that. So now they're more willing to give you your email, and then they get onto your list, and then you can immediately take them anywhere you want. You can offer them something for sale. Oh, by the way, since you like this and you wanted 22 more of these, we also have this other thing that'll help you out, and it's this, and it's only 37 bucks. I mean, that's the simplistic version, but that's
Yeah.
how you can take them through that process. And again, I gave them something first. Now I have a little bit of goodwill with them. Now maybe they'll buy something small, and over time I give them more, and I create relationship through the email process. And now they'll work into bigger things. Now, you know, I've sold $10,000 products without ever talking to anyone, you know, just like
Oh, wow.
this. So, but it didn't just happen on the first try.
No,
You know?
you've been building that
So
up for years.
it's definitely a process to take them through it. But again, that's how I like to do it. I love to give value first, because it just shows them, look, you could walk away from this piece of value that I gave you, and you could go do something successful with it. You don't need the next thing. It'll benefit you, but you don't need it. And so if they can walk away with that value, then that's a win for me. And I
Yeah,
know
totally.
that a certain percentage of those people are going to take the next steps.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. So do you have like any specific who's your target audience?
Well, like I said, I have different ones. I even actually, during this, I kind of started a prepper
Uh-huh.
audience.
Yeah.
But it's weird because the prepper, there were so many things I didn't know either too. So, you know, I start immersing myself into it because I got to know my audience. And it's like, do I
Yeah.
really want to be in this niche? Because I know as little, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. It doesn't, which brings me to another point. It doesn't always have to be you. So what I started doing is there's a lot of great info in the prepper world. You can put up a video of
Hmm.
someone else sharing information. You know, you can
Oh yeah.
run an ad that says, hey, 5 things you want to do or 5 things you don't want to go without during a quarantine, and
Hmm.
send them over there. And it's a video of someone else explaining those 5 things. And then
Yep.
you have a button below that says, hey, by the way, do you want this thing?
Yeah.
So I've got my prepper niche, I've got my health niche, I've got my online marketing niche. Now, who those are, you really have to dial in.
Okay.
So for example, you could go out and say, all right, in the online marketing world, I need to target Gary Vaynerchuk. Well,
That's what
Gary
I
and I
just
are
kept
very,
thinking about when you're saying, lead with content. He has that punch, punch, jab.
but see, we're very different because I do not like to rise and grind. I work an hour or 2 a day,
Mhm.
and I'm more deliberate in my stuff. I don't know what
Okay.
the heck people do for 13, 18 hours a day. I don't. But again, I've got a virtual assistant that does my grunt work.
Uh-huh.
So I don't advertise to his. That's not my target because that's not the way I talk. I don't talk
Okay.
about that. I talk about, hey, should I spend $50 on an ad to do all my legwork for me, or should I rise and grind? No one really that I know really wants to rise and grind and do stuff. Like I said, I went fishing this morning, but
Yeah.
my marketing was still working, right?
That's stuff that they don't
So
want to do. Yeah.
again, so I avoid Vaynerchuk. People love him, and that's okay. It's just
Hmm.
not my target because we're different in that way. So that's what it means by really knowing who your avatar is. You know,
Hmm.
you want to know if they're male or female. I talk more to males. You know,
Hmm.
some females resonate with me, most probably don't. You have to find a certain age group too. So it's someone for me that does have some money and has been working hard, and they realize, gosh, I do want to spend a little more time with my family. How can I still make the same or make a little more, but work a little less? That's who I
Okay.
talk to. So males probably in the 35 to 55 range for me.
Mhm.
Again, in the entrepreneur, but looking to do a little less, not a little more. So you
Okay.
really have to kind of narrow down and talk to those people in your immediate funnel. Now, again, that's when you can monetize your life after that and talk about other things. But on the front end, you really have to know who you're talking to.
So what's a couple of examples of products that you are your flagship products?
Here in the last couple of months, I've been promoting some of the like the docu-series. There's some really good health ones on thyroid.
Hmm.
I actually just got the transcripts for, it was the Healing Key series is what it was called. So it talks a lot about health
Okay.
in the, not the pill, potion, or lotion. And they also talk a lot about it taking time to heal, but they'll
Totally.
do a series um, of videos where they're giving it all away. It's like that day you can watch 3 videos of experts for free, and then
Hmm.
it locks those down. And then the next day you get 3 more, and it goes on like that. And then of course they're selling it. If you want lifetime access, then you can buy it. And then I get usually like a 50% commission if they buy it.
Oh wow.
One that starts tomorrow will be a really good one. It's called the Paycheck Solution. And I don't have the list of people in front of me, but it is an all-star cast of, I'll send you the link
Yep.
after we get done here. It'll be
Put it
too
on the
late for
show
your
notes.
listeners, unless
Yep.
they kind of make it evergreen. But it is, Mike Dillard is one of the guys on there. I can't even think of the other people on there, but I'll be watching it for myself too, because it's a really all-star cast of people that are on it.
Paycheck
So again,
Solutions.
that'll be in the online marketing world,
Hmm.
but very timely right now is people are looking for, hey, how can I start something right now because I'm not working. My work got cut. I know I'm going to go back to work,
Yep.
but gosh, I could do something right now, and I need to be prepared for the next time it happens.
Yep.
Because for
Yep.
me, my media buying went away, but I don't have to miss a beat because now I can say, oh, I'm just going to do more of the affiliate side because
Hmm.
now I have time to do that. And so it really didn't affect me. And that's what's nice about affiliate marketing is you can make it recession proof. There's always something in there. The prepper stuff was great to promote. People were thinking about it,
Hmm. What do you
quick.
mean by prepper? Like products,
So
or
preparedness. So
or like
um,
multiple streams of marketing or
No,
different
this would
things?
have been straight up like how to prepare for a pandemic, how to prepare for if, someone comes to your home during this because they know you have food, how to protect your
Ah,
family,
ah,
how to prepare if we turn into Venezuela,
yep,
that type of thing. So it's more that how to prepare if there's nuclear war, which again, I don't go quite that deep because I
yep,
think
yep.
that's a ways off yet. But gosh, they turned us into socialism pretty dang quick. It seems
Yeah, they
like
did.
here.
Yeah,
So it's
they
like,
did. It was pretty scary. Like it still is. It's just like
yeah,
tiptoeing on the lines of
yeah.
the Constitution
So
for sure.
yeah, so it was great. I mean, and teaching my kids that type of stuff too is great. So we talked about little things when it comes to prep, and of course, I've grew up on a farm. I've hunted. I've had my rifles,
I did
but
also.
we talked about little things like people get crazy, and everyone, like I don't care how prepared you are, people get crazy when they get in a panic and they don't have something they need, and especially if they need to take care of their family. We were talking about 22 rifle. It's quiet. So if you get into a situation where you need food, but you don't want someone else to know, you use the 22. I said, you've got your BB gun and see those turtle dove out there. So it's like little things like that,
Put
that's
pellets in the
completely
BB
outside.
gun, not
But
just the
you know what?
because
I
that would
do.
do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, that's right. So, but yeah, no, but as I was learning about it, all these things came up and I'm like, well, I can't just be the only one prepared. I got to make sure my family's prepared as well. So.
Okay, so then you'll go and look for a product like that online and see if they have an associate program, and then just put that out to your list.
Yeah, well, the
Or
beauty is once you start searching and looking, Facebook shows them all to you because then
that's
someone starts
true.
their algorithm is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. I actually do, I want to say it's probably the last year, maybe a little bit longer. I do less targeting,
Uh-huh.
but my message in the ad is very specific because as soon
That's
as you
key.
post that thing, Facebook knows I know exactly who's going to look at that. You know,
That's
it's like
true.
that. Even a video, you can post a video. I think there was some research a couple of years ago said that within the first like 0.03 seconds, with no words or transcript going to a video, Facebook knows who to show that to. They know who's going to
Really?
watch that video already. Yeah.
So with your Facebook ads, you usually just go for engagement or for messages or send them to websites. What's your go-to button?
It depends where they're at in the funnel. So,
Ah,
top of funnel, I go for engagement and I try and get people to watch a certain period of it. So then when I go to retarget, I might say, okay, I only want this second video, show it to people that have watched, depending on the length of the video, let's say 50% of the previous video. Because if you've got a person, let's say a 4-minute video, and they spent 2 minutes with you, that is a lot of time to spend with you. So that's a
yeah,
very engaged person. So you want to show them the next step. And I
yeah.
think
I'll do
that's
50 to
important when someone's on a
75%.
budget, to not just retarget everyone that engaged with you, because you can
No,
waste a lot of money that someone clicked over there, they looked at it, oh, this wasn't for me, and they bailed. Well, you don't want to retarget them.
totally.
A friend of mine, Justin Brook, told me about this a couple of years ago, even with your Facebook pixel. And I do this in Google Tag Manager. You can delay your pixel so it doesn't fire on everyone that comes over. You can say, wait to pixel that person only if they stay on my site for 15 seconds,
Okay.
18 seconds, 20,
I think I
so then you can
read
start
that
to do it.
somewhere.
So then when you go to retarget, they're really better prospects because they've been on your site for X amount of time or they've scrolled so far through your
Uh-huh.
page. So
You
again, you
retarget
can
those
really be
by,
specific.
is there like a pixel retargeting? I haven't done that one before yet. I don't think. Can you target by pixel?
Yeah, well, it's basically
Is that from the
someone
Google side or the Facebook side?
on Facebook, someone that clicked over to your site.
Oh, website
Yeah,
visitor.
someone that was on a website. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. What about who are good sources? Who would you recommend, or who did you learn from for as far as creating your funnels? Like I know there's I got like 3 of the books by the guy that made ClickFunnels. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Russell Brunson.
Russell Brunson. Yeah, I haven't read all of his books yet.
Right. Um,
But
I
he
can't
wasn't.
say that I.
He didn't come up with. Well, he even says in his books he didn't come up with it. It was all snail mail before.
Yeah, well,
The
that's what I was going
exact
to
same
say. I
thing.
learned old school, and I'm so glad because it was so not shiny. I learned from Dan Kennedy.
Yeah, Dan
I
Kennedy.
mean, my first stuff was run a newspaper ad and sending out. Talk about someone wanting free. It was so not free. Then I sent out
Yeah.
11 by 17 folded free reports in big first class envelopes. Trying to think, it cost about $2 to send those per deal, and I would send. I have to think. The first one would go out immediately. They'd call an 800 number, so you got to pay for an 800 number. They'd leave their mailing address. I'd send it to them. If they didn't respond, I'd send them one a week later. If they didn't respond, I'd send them a week later. And then I'd send a newsletter every single month to these people. And
I used to do that with postcards for patients, like every single month. But now we do email, and that's kind of going down. It just went up during the COVID thing, but now it's
so that's what I tell people to look at. Learn real marketing because again, it's always the same. That's why no matter what niche I go into or who I talk to, it's just always the same. Know who they are, know what they want, create value, create relationship. So look up Dan Kennedy. Bill Glazer is a good one. Gary Halbert. Look up the Gary Halbert letters. Anyone that invests the time in looking at those things, they'll be ready. And again, everyone just kind of wants, hey, Jeff, just tell me how to do this ad, how to do this funnel, and how to get this sale. And it's like, it's just not that easy. You gotta, for me, I've just been immersed in it since 2005. So now a lot of it is so natural. The only thing that's new is this little thing. Now I can text someone. Now I can pixel them. Now I can put this script on my site that does this.
Yep.
But those aren't marketing. Those are the widgets. Learn the marketing. Anyone can do the widgets. I mean, I've got my guy that does the widgets, but I'm the crafter of the message and the relationship.
So did you get those books, Internet? He's a marketing major. He's just finishing up with school, so.
Yeah, I'm sure Dan Kennedy's got a ton of stuff online too.
I bet he's never even heard of Dan Kennedy. Have you? No, he has never heard of Dan Kennedy.
Oh, buddy, you can impress your friends with that.
You actually should read one of his books at least, because he's the godfather of marketing.
Yeah, look up all his
marketing content.
Yeah, all his no BS books.
Yep.
No BS sales letter. He's got like a dozen no BS books. They're great.
My thing is like I you got to hire somebody to build one of those giant sales letters. Like I don't know who the first one to ever write one was. I don't even know why people click on them. Like you just know that it's at the bottom. Like
I know, yeah. It's the way that I did those, because my highest producing as far as money goes video was an hour long. And the best way to do those, and of course it's just a transcript, but it was word for word. I sat down in front of something and I just recorded it. And then you go back and you refine it. You're like, what was I stumbling through there? And then you record it again and you find out what it is. And it's just that thing. I never was able to really just sit down and write it. I always had to talk through it. I could even come back to this and I could like write a transcript. I could turn this into like 5 pieces of content and repurpose it.
Yeah,
because it's just all these things that like come up. Oh, now I can go this direction. So that's a secret for anyone that wants to even record a 4-minute little video, is just sit down and record it and then go back and transcribe it and take out the garbage that you didn't mean and say what you really mean, and then record it a second or third time. And it's so much smoother. It's just worked great for me.
Oh, that's a really good tip. Thank you.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to fail at it. So many people are like, oh, that was horrible. Oh,
yeah, that's the truth, especially with video. Yeah, especially if it's yourself. Like, there's not one that I like that it's me on there, but some do really well and some don't. But so it's just what your message is and how your passion, I think, about what you're selling really goes a long ways. I think we're getting towards the end of our time limit here. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Jeff?
No, if it's something someone wants to do, honestly, just get started, do it. And again, don't be afraid to put a little time in it. Don't be afraid to,
Time.
I say spend money, but honestly, you're going to lose money for the most part at the beginning. But what you're doing is you're buying your education. You're finding
Totally.
out who resonates with you. You know, I
Yep.
mean, you look at how much money we spend on chiropractic school. If we looked at that like, I'm losing money every trimester I put this up. It's like, no, I'm investing in something. And people
Totally.
forget about that because, again, someone said, oh, this is a great product. Just tell your friends about it on social media and they're going to buy it and you're going to make a bunch of money. That person lied to you. I'm going to tell you that it costs money to do this thing, and don't spend anything that you don't have to lose.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. Really appreciate you coming on the show and helping us out and giving the viewers some tips to get started. We are going to leave the names of all those of the 3 different books, as well as maybe some old school Dan Kennedy links to Amazon on his books on the show notes, and we have some different links to Jeff's affiliate marketing. And we look forward to we look forward to seeing you next episode. Thank you, everybody.
Cool.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Jeff.
having me. You bet.
Yeah, super fun. Like I will get a couple of those books. The funnels is the biggest thing for me. Like I haven't mastered that yet. That's we kind of working our way backwards. It seems like we started with the Facebook.
What's getting you? Let me help you through it if I can.
I would say the squeeze page, and then building the list from the squeeze page, like what to use to build that, or to use the squeeze page. And then if you can use it on Facebook, or we have it on our website just for new patients. We do need to get a free, like, it's not like, best 25 exercises for low back pain. Like I do have all that stuff on video even.
Right.
So I need to get that out there. I guess that would lead them into the funnel on a squeeze page. But then it's the automated email sequences. Like how do you come up with that forever?
See, once again, to me, it's the outsource. So do you know Dan Sullivan?
I've heard of him. Yep.
He has fantastic content that he puts out, 4 of them a month. And I talk about that in some of my videos as far as you should have that. Grab those things. And I think it's only $60 a month. It's crazy cheap. It's really, yeah, it's great.
Okay.
So yeah, I just grab theirs and I do a couple things with it. Number one, I'm going to post it as a blog post. I'm going to email it to my list.
Yep.
I would put all 4 of them together and mail it to my list every month, just one time, but all 4 of them.
Oh, you mail them stuff?
Yeah, it's gold. People love getting stuff in the mail because all they see anymore is junk.
That's true.
You
mail them something specific though? Like a specific
it'd be
envelope?
those 4 things.
But in a specific type of envelope that they know isn't junk.
No, I wouldn't sweat that so much. I've always liked hand addressed. Yeah. Now, again, that might take a college or high school kid or something like that, but it's gold. And there's a lot of printers now that can do hand addressing or hand looking fonts. Yep, so you can have that done as well. But then you take those as well and you turn them in. It turns into like a 2 or 3 minute video script. So you can record a video talking about that. It's fantastic stuff. I'll shoot you a link for that too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And because, like I said, he puts out 4 of them a month. It's all the content you'll ever need.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's great.
All right, we're gonna get on top of
that. Once again, I'll send you the video. It was 2 years ago. I was just looking through them today because I was going to do another series. And I was looking through there. I'm like, there's nothing I would change about any of this stuff because it's all timeless marketing things that you just do. And I was like, oh yeah, I used Dan's stuff in like 3 of those videos because it was how to get the reactivations. Call them up, tell them you have something to email them. What's your email address? If you don't have them. And it's talking about Dan's thing. So you email them that and it's fantastic. So
nice. Yeah, if you could send that would be great. And I'll send you a recording of this for yourself also.
Cool.
Send me your email address and I'll email.
Okay. Yep, we'll do that.
send it to you?
Do you know when this is published? Because I'll send them to your deal so you get the listens. I mean, I won't share it on mine or anything. I want you to definitely get the people
Okay.
on your.
Okay.
Just let me know when that gets up.
In the next week, by next weekend, we'll have it up.
Okay.
Okay. So yours will be coming up next week after we get it edited.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. He's got finals. He does the editing.
Gotcha.
But he likes it. Like, I don't like editing. Well, I do like editing, but it's just time consuming, and I have a million things in the office to do is the thing.
Yeah.
But I do like getting in there and being creative with things. But yeah, I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, that's very cool. And if you know what, if you want help with your funnel too, just kind of walking through it, a lot of time I've done this in the past for people. If you don't mind sharing stuff, I like to do it as almost like a case study. It's like, hey, here's what we did, do this, this, and this. And it just shows them your stuff. And I'm happy to like put it together for you for nothing. Because I just share it with my list. Because I mean, I've got 10,000 chiropractors that see my stuff. Yep. And again, they're probably in the same boat as you. They're like, well, I kind of got this and I kind of got this, but I don't know what to do with this. And it's like, well, here's an example. Don't copy it, but use it as your template, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want help with it, everything, I mean, like I said, my guy, he's full-time anyway, and he doesn't work full-time because I just don't have that much stuff to do, but I've always had him on retainer.
Yeah.
So it won't cost me anything else to help you, you know, anything like that. So if you want help with putting that whole thing together and what I would do,
great. I would love that.
Let me know. I'm happy to do it.
Awesome. I appreciate it very much. All right. Well, we got to get going. I think Nate's got to study for a test.
Cool. Well, yeah, I
get ready for
appreciate you
tomorrow,
having me
but I really appreciate it very much.
Jacked up again.
Thank you for taking the time.
All right, you bet. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.